Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just $60K drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers. Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Ranger Wolf-Track V6, featuring bold styling, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres, all from just $73K drive away. Ranger Wolf-Track at participating Ford dealers while stocks last.
You can hear it, Candy?
Hey everyone, I'm Tommy Neil Thorne. Tune in this weekend as the rollers take on the world.
Get what you really want with the value-packed Ford Ranger Black Edition 4x4 with bedliner, 12-inch touchscreen, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres. All from just $53K drive away. Get the Ranger Black Edition at participating Ford dealers.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value-packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just $60,000 drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers.
Wheelchair basketball emerged shortly after World War II after it was developed by injured servicemen. It became a foundation Paralympic sport at the 1960 Games and is now one of the world's most recognisable wheelchair sports. Athletes who play wheelchair basketball have a physical impairment. All players use a wheelchair to compete, although some don't use a wheelchair in everyday life. The court dimensions and basket height for wheelchair basketball are the same as the able-bodied version of the sport, as is the playing time and number of players on court. Wheelchair basketball classifications range between 1 and 4.5 points. Players with a classification of 1.0 have the highest level of impairment, while players in the 4.5 point class have the highest level of physical function to be eligible for the sport. The wheelchairs used during a game are specially designed to support players and help them move around the court. During a match, the classifications of the 5 players on the court are added together and must reach a total of no more than 14 points. The object of the game is to score the most points in the opposing team's basket. The team with the most points by the time the clock expires wins. Wheelchair basketball is a contact sport. The sport is so fast that it can be difficult for athletes to stop in time, meaning contact is inevitable and can result in some spectacular collisions. While contact is permitted and even encouraged, head-on collisions are strictly forbidden and can result in fouls or even ejection from the game. For more information on wheelchair basketball, visit paralympic.org.au.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
Welcome to the AIS Centre of Excellence, Game 6, the Rollers against the World Challenge. My name's Brendan Parnell, joined by Campbell Fraser, and today we'll see the Italians who've had 2 encounters already in this tournament, having lost to Spain and lost to Australia, take on a Japanese team that had the extraordinary result in beating Spain last night, the unbeaten European champions, having lost an equally close game to Australia on the first day. I'm joined today by Campbell Fraser, a man who knows much more about the intricacies of the sport of wheelchair basketball, having played and now being involved as a pathway coach in Victoria and Australia. Campbell, what can we expect today, these teams? Obviously, there'll be a little sense of weariness, their third game within 36 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's we saw that a little bit in the one game that's already been played today, Australia taking on Spain. That these teams they're obviously very professional, very strong, but having travelled in very recently and playing these games back to back, it's a big demand. I think the thing that we'll be looking to see is whether the Japanese steadiness and consistency across the board can kind of combat the speed and the flair that Italy come with. We've kind of been joking back and forth that Italy seem to manage to put up shots that just should not work and seem to manage for them. So it'll be a question of whether the Japanese can answer those shots and really put pressure on in their strength and the way that they do.
Yeah, the Italians featuring a style that's probably a little more similar to Spain, and maybe a European style where even within the Asia-Oceania region from which Japan and Australia emerged as qualifiers for the World Championships to be held in September in the Netherlands, there are distinct styles. Australia more reliant on the three-point shot. Japan, as you mentioned, fantastically well organised defensively and able to turn transition into almost an art form. Right, as we get ready, our officials for today's game: Helen Rosenberg, Josh McWatters and Ty Hodgsons. It's the Italians in their familiar blue strip and Japan in the white. Italians possibly buoyed by success in another sporting arena overnight, the French Open tennis. Flavio Caboli, one of the series of dominant young Italian players, making his way through to the men's final to be played in a couple of days' time. As we see the Italians just acknowledging the officials, making sure our score table's all set to roll. Italian coach Jared van der Linden, as he's wont to do, sitting down on the sideline. But we're underway, and it's Kozai for Japan with the opening possession. He launches straight into a three, not shy at all. Ball caroms away. Buelis with the rebound. First Italian shots up. Nothing doing. Mekazuki, the rebound for Japan. Kozai pushes ahead. Akashi back to Kozai, launches another three. That's good. As we said that the Japanese were maybe a little more conservative offensively, they come down and launch 2 instantaneous threes. Kawasino drives baseline, collects himself, nails the 2. Kozai pushing again for Japan. Takashi gets it back, wheels around. Shot from the wing is good.
I really like the style from Japan, really pushing that inbound from the made basket of Italy. and not giving Italy any time to get into their defense, and really playing kind of towards the riskiness that the Italians have when they slow down a little bit. They don't like to play slow.
Kozai makes his way to the middle of the paint, scores again. And with all the early answers, Carasino draws some contact from Kozai. And in fact, the foul's been assessed on Carasino, much to the disgust of Van der Linden, the Italian coach. Mariuma off with that three. Offensive rebound for the Japanese. Akashi. Kozai, head fake, uses the Akashi screen. Boganelli Joseph loses him. Kozai on a heater early on here.
That's a really smart play from Kozai to really fake out those defenders and know that he has the hip control to really move his chair without even touching his wheels and just kind of sliding underneath that defense.
Happy makes his way inside. Steadying basket for Italy. Kozai temporarily left unattended at the three-point line. Kicks the ball to Mariuma. He's good again. Two early mid-range baskets for Mariuma. Boganelli Joseph, Papi, baseline, his shot's off, Mariuma the rebound, flips to Akashi. Kozai. Just open players all over the place for Japan. The Italians want to have another talk about it. 13-4, Japan coming out like a well-oiled machine there, Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly the style that you expect of Japan. They don't look to do anything too flashy. Obviously, putting up threes pretty early, but they're very comfortable shots. And Kozai especially is that's been his shot for a very long time. He's been in the Japanese squad and international squad for quite a long time, and he's very much the playmaker. He's a fantastic cut and driver, but also just so consistent from that three. And I think that's the threat that the Italians have to respond to, is knowing that the Japanese have options everywhere at this point. The Italian defense has to be on consistently and on very quickly.
Yeah, certainly an entirely different style challenge for Italy from both of their games yesterday. Whereas the able-bodied game has probably become more of a hybrid as it's moved along with the three-point revolution and bigger players playing on the perimeter, the wheelchair game still retains very distinct and diverse styles that are capable of being executed at the top level. Japan, evidence of that. Boganelli Joseph now with the ball for Italy, finds Papi. Ball skips across, comes back to Boganelli Joseph, back to Papi. His shot short, gets after the rebound, reels it in. Deflection as that pass was in midair. Carasino, shot fake, drives again, draws some contact from Mikazuki. Just the first team foul, early stage of this first quarter. game coming to you from Canberra, the Australian Capital Territory, Australia. Carasino, multiple fakes, gets that to go.
That was a little bit of an ugly defense from Japan. The Italians really not finding their line until just then, but the Japanese not able to pull in those rebounds and kind of force the Italians out of the key, and really just giving the Italians as many options as they wanted until they found something.
And that'll be a second foul on Mikazuki. He's asking for some clarification. He was setting a screen and flipped that screen as the ball handler went across the top, but obviously did so in a manner that didn't please the official. Carasino now with the ball for Italy. Skips it across. Another mid-range shot. The Italians have stabilised things. Papi, the rebound. Carasino, probing. Kicks to Papi. Tries again, that's off. Kozai, up and rolling. Kazuki. Skip pass across to Mariuma. Ball finds its way back to Kozai. It's going to settle things down. Although the shot clock is an issue in the background. Drives middle. Kicks to Akashi. The shot almost popped to Mikazuki on the scorn. Buelos for Italy. Drives middle. Finds Carasino's hotly contested, but manages to get the shot to go. And now it's the Japanese that want to talk about things. That little mini run from Italy there has them questioning what's going on.
Yeah, Carasino really becoming a little bit of a problem for the Japanese side, and I really like this about the Italians across the games that they've already played, and now into this game, they bring a lot of different threats, and I feel like every game they've had a different player be the threat, and that's a fantastic a fantastic issue for them to have of who you want to give the ball to, is that everyone can be a threat, and the Japanese not really able to respond to that. And they also haven't been able to put Kozai in a position to keep shooting. He was extremely strong straight out of the start, and he's gone a little bit cold. And they've been looking for Mikazuki and really haven't found anything through him yet. He has been the one for the past couple games to really steady them and be that inside shot. He's a tall player. He's very consistent inside the paint, and really just isn't finding his line in the first quarter.
See the Italians break from their huddle. It's early stages, game 6. This is a fantastic 5-day event hosted in Canberra by the Australian Institute of Sport, which is generally the home for the rollers and the gliders, the Australian women's team, when they're hosting camps or events like this. Akashi, the ball for Japan. Flips across to Kozai, sets a blur screen. Mariuma driving baseline. Akashi continues his cut, can't make the layup. Carasino streaking down floor. The ball for Italy. Draws a bit of contact. It's almost one of those fouls we saw Spain so adept at creating today to stop transition. Kawahara there.
That's one of the things you'll notice in this level of wheelchair basketball, especially, that fouls do get committed and committed quite aggressively at times, but they are for intention. They have purpose. There's very rarely reckless fouls or silly fouls coming from players.
Papi back to Boganelli Joseph. He's good. He's demonstrated a neat outside shooting touch throughout these first couple of days. Akashi. Mikazuki back to Akashi. Kozai's long. Karasino finds a lane. He thought he was going to have drawn sufficient contact to get a foul. Nothing doing. Akashi streaking the other way. Kozai finds the cutting Mikazuki. His shot sits on the rim for a second, falls off, but he will get 2 free throw attempts.
And hopefully this is the chance for him to just get a little bit of scoring and get himself kind of more comfortable. He is absolutely a threat for the Japanese, but he's just been a little bit cold this morning, potentially quite literally, and just not finding his normal option. He's been in the position, been able to post up, and just not finishing.
Yeah, if he'd ventured outside in Canberra this morning, he would certainly be feeling a bit cold. Campbell. Misty and very wintry here today. Second one, Karam's off. Papi the rebound. Karasino rolls across the floor using multiple screens, then skips the pass. Shot's good. The Magician snuck onto the floor. Giaretti. It's been a highlight of the tournament to date, and he draws an offensive foul there, much to his delight. Yeah, if you haven't seen Andrea Giaretti, he's in number 16, play yet. He's worth a watch. He's nicknamed the Magician, El Maggio. He's got all manner of creative shot-making capacity.
He's one of those players that, as much as he has the flair and the style, he is also just so consistent and so driven. His ability to play make is quite unmatched, even if he's not the one taking the shot, although 9 times out of 10 he will be.
This Papi's shot is off. And when I say nicknamed, I should let you know he's been nicknamed by us as the Magician. He's probably unaware of that. Oh, fantastic interchange of passing. Finishes up with Akashi. Giaretti with the ball now. Pulling out of play. With a stack of screens at the top of the keyway. Ball to Boganelli Joseph. He uses the Papi screen. Defenders go under. He shoots. Kozai now. Wheels back around, didn't like what he saw. Fujimoto has made his way onto the floor as well. Iconic Japanese scorer. And jack of all trades, I shouldn't limit him to scorer. He's in 13 there with the long black sleeves. It's Karasino. Drives past the elbow. Doesn't like what he saw there. Bit of screen and roll action. Good. Marotta finishing there. The lower point player setting the screen, rolling expert and getting the pass exactly where he wanted it. Fujimoto to Kozai. Three's good. Boom.
The Italian's happy to sit out and let Kozai shoot that. I think if he hits one or two more of those, they might have to start jumping him. He is very much a threat from that 3-point line.
Karasino tries to answer, can't do so. Fujimoto pass with always a little bit of flair. Kashi. Kozai. Potent lineup on the floor for Japan at the moment. Fujimoto. Shot short. Referee Rosenberg finds a bit of contact. Papi's not convinced. That will be his second personal foul. Papi, he'll head to the bench. Fujimoto gets the first one to go. And the second one. Giretti had to be reminded that the game clock was running down. He launched an almost half-court shot which fell harmlessly aside. And that'll do us for the first quarter. It's Japan 21, Italy 16. And we will be back after this break.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Welcome back to the AIS Centre of Excellence for the start of the second quarter. This game at the Rollers vs the World Challenge being held here, featuring 4 of the leading men's wheelchair basketball teams in the world, all of whom have qualified for the World Championship Finals to be held in Rotterdam in September. It's Italy with the ball, trailing Japan 16-21 after the first quarter. As Giretti for Italy skips a pass, Carasino skips it back to Giretti. Beautiful little screen and roll. Fantastic finish there by Marotta, calmly doing the business. Akashi for Japan. Urasawa is on the floor in 7, as also is Murakami. He comes out shooting, first shot of 3. Carasino gets around Murakami. Akashi comes to cut him off. Wayward pass, Giretti can't get hold of it. Japan has the turnover. Murakami. Kashi almost had a lane. They cut off by Boganella Joseph. Shot from Makita is off.
Just a little bit of a wasted offense there by Japan. I think they had more time than they were thinking that they did. Essentially just forcing up a shot that they weren't all too comfortable with. Murakami is generally the one that they're going to look for inside with quite his height and his size. So I think that they need to rely on that option a little bit more and not let the Italians push them too far out.
Ball back with Japan. Murakami, shot clock running down. Akashi has the ball poked away. Gione. Carosino. Probes down the left side. Looks for Giaretti inside. Pass is picked off. Akashi, as soon as he saw that pass might have been picked off, he'd taken off. He makes the breakaway layup. Giaretti, been rather tame by his standards thus far. Spins around. Couple of fakes, rolls back, takes another dribble. Kicks a tough pass to Carosino, but one of the Italian wheels was inside the rectangular area known as the keyway. And a 3-second violation ensues.
It's a really, really frustrating position for him to be in. I think he thought he was right on the line and not quite inside. He was posting up for quite a while with that mismatch and that pass coming in. And I think with that pass, he rolled into it just the slightest bit and moved over.
You can hear the officials letting players know to keep moving. Not sure with all the language barriers whether that's clearly understood. Murakami and Furusawa exchanging passes. Meanwhile, the shot clock's dribbling down. Murakami has to launch the half-court skyhook. That's off, understandably. Giaretti. Italy's just left wide open. 3 Italian defenders content to sit under the screen, and it looked like a training drill. Furusawa and Murakami. Ball finds its way to Akashi. He looks at the seams, looks at 3. Almost wants to fall in, doesn't do so. Giaretti for Italy. Weaves around, the screens are moving as much as he is. Looks at 3. Strange offense there. There's Benvenuto, and it's a foul in the backcourt.
It's a little bit unnecessary of a foul there, really. The ball coming up for the Japanese, and they're setting into their transition. They weren't really pushing ahead, and the Italians had the ability to recover pretty comfortably. I think that was as much as they want to steal and potentially just a little bit of frustration and annoyance at the score at the moment.
There's Furusawa, inbounds to Furusaki. On the floor for the first time in 91. Number 91, that is. Furusawa. Murakami. Skips a pass. Just had enough weight on it. Shots off. Giaretti. Post ball pass. Gets it back. Shot clock running right down. Launches another unsuccessful one. Akita, the rebound. Furusaki gets it to Murakami. Inside to Akita, he can't finish. Giaretti. He loves to do, often rolling, sees a lane, finds a little bit of contact, can't get the layup to go, falls out of his chair, as if to embellish what happened or didn't happen. Meanwhile, down the other end, Akita was cherry-picking, for want of a better phrase. And Japan make another layup.
And that's a setup that the Japanese actually really like playing. They're quite confident that they'll be able to bring down rebounds and just have one player who's kind of floating out of defense as soon as they get picked out, or if they overextend, and they'll just slowly move up the court. They don't necessarily look for that transition, but that long pass to someone who's already been sitting there for 5 seconds.
Clever tactic if you can get away with it. Italy goes again. Samaji tries to make that interior pass, but someone got a piece of his arm there. And a remarkably clean game, just the 2 fouls this quarter. One on each team. Giaretti always happy to have a chat, doing so with referee Helen Rosenberg. Demachi. Giaretti wheels around, snaps it inside. Benvenuto is there to finish. Kurosaki gets it on to Furukawa. Okami delivers a bit of dynamite to one of his teammates there. Miyamoto won't appreciate that. You have to just hoik something up. Ball's knocked out of Damaji's hands on transition. Looks like the Italians want to have a chat about things. We'll head to a timeout. Watch the Japanese team roll off the floor. Italy's certainly stabilised, Campbell. The game's found a little bit of a rhythm of what teams can and can't do.
Yeah, they've definitely found more of their position, and I think that's actually a credit to the Japanese really holding the Italians to a certain pace. And a style of game that the Italians don't necessarily play. They like to play that kind of fast, frantic style, but the Japanese don't really respond to that. They don't engage. They don't lift to that. They choose to play their style, slow it down, and especially in their defense. Their defense is incredible at diffusing a situation and really controlling fast breaks and kind of turning them away so that the team can recover and get into more of that static defense that they know that they have the size advantage and they have the control.
Yeah, we saw some statistics pop up on the bottom left. Nothing in the rebounding count at the moment. 14-13 in favour of Italy. Really, the only statistical difference is Japan's been able to convert 3 times from the 3-point line and generate a few points, 3 in fact, from the free throw line. Italy yet to score anything there. And just the 1 3-point success for them. Damaji makes a nice baseline shot. Murakami. Ball for Japan. Finds Akita. He was starting to roll backwards, but the defender continued his movement. Gave him a bump. He'll head back to the free throw line.
It's one of the most frustrating styles of defense to try to play, that defense as you're moving backwards. Obviously, in the wheelchair basketball game, you don't have the ability to be blocking a shot and controlling your chair. So you've got to make a decision as to whether you trust your speed that you're moving backwards with, or if you don't put up a hand to block the shot.
And if the player moving backwards were to suddenly stop and you continued forward, it would still be your foul?
As long as you're given sufficient time to stop. So there is a little bit of leeway there, and referees are very, very good at deciding if there was sufficient time to move. It's the same thing with a charge. You don't necessarily get called for a charge if you literally don't have the ability to make a change. But when you're moving at that slow pace, you generally do.
Brilliant screen and roll there from Pedron. Just didn't quite have the shooting angle due to his hide in the chair. No matter, Damaji, the same spot that he made his previous mid-range shot, converts again. Kurosawa, dribbling, Akita. Back to Murakami. His three's off. Giaretti. Wheels around. Pinpoint pass inside to Syed. Straight back to Giaretti. He takes all the time he needs to line that up, almost geometrically. And this time Japan want to have a chat about things, as the Italians have found a way to get themselves back within a single point. Their offense looking quite controlled, whereas Japan, Fujimoto not on the floor at the moment, they're really struggling for coherent ideas.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to throw a few reversals in there and trying to draw the Italian defense to kind of jump those shots. But then I think they've responded to the fact that a couple of their outside shooters aren't on at the moment, aren't necessarily hitting as many shots as you'd expect. And I think the Italians happy to let the Japanese take a few of those shots with a little bit of false confidence. Obviously, they're only 1 point up, and the Italians really just kind of sliding in under the radar.
The Italians head back onto the floor. Coach van der Linden looking a lot more content than he did midway through the first quarter. Kurosaki inbounds and Fujimoto has come on, as he sometimes does, just for the last minute or two of quarters. He'll be back and undoubtedly he'll be one of the focal points. Akita looks straight for him. Ball skips back to the corner. Kurosaki can't get that shot to go. Giaretti finds a lane. Ooh, a tremendous amount of spin on that. It's probably just a little teaser of the things that he's capable of. I wouldn't call that his most spectacular, but certainly creative. Italy find themselves in front. Akita skips to Fujimoto. He switches hands. Ball comes back to Akita. His shot's off. Nothing really falling for Japan at the moment. Giaretti heads the other way. Just a touch over a minute remaining. First half. Beautiful pass inside to Benvenuto from Damaji. Gave the shot fake, drew the closeout, which created the space for the roll from Benvenuto. You see a couple of chairs locked up there.
It's a pretty common thing to happen, unfortunately, with the speed and the agility that a lot of these players move with. The chairs can come locked up and get on top of each other, essentially.
Fujimoto, he's probably surprised that he was left open at the three-point line. He goes boom. Almost casual there as he wheeled around to face the basket. Giaretti now to Damaji. Draw some contact. It's been a very clean half in terms of fouls, so neither team remotely close to the bonus.
That's a particular thing for the Japanese. They're very conservative with their fouls. We saw them against Spain. And that was one of the things that we saw kind of night and day. The way that teams utilize their fouls. The Japanese are very dedicated and very disciplined in the way that they control their aggression and their pace.
Italy, they can almost use about a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock here. They can use it all just about. That shot missed, they'll retain possession. Chance for them to conjure up something in 5 and a touch seconds. What have they got up their sleeve? Ball skips out to Giaretti. Damagi flashes middle, exchange of passing. Fantastic, Benvenuto gives it the fist pump. And that'll do us. Italy, unlikely leaders at halftime, 35-33 over Japan. And we'll be back after a break.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value-packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just $60,000 drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers.
I was really lucky to cross paths with wheelchair basketball when I was 15 years old. I fell in love with the sport.
I was doing horse riding and I wanted to play a team sport, and my mum came across wheelchair basketball and I just grew to love it. My muscles have grown stronger, so I'm able to do a lot more things now because of basketball. Yeah, it's just helped me a lot in life. I would love to play at the Brisbane 2032 Paralympics and represent the country.
I wasn't 21 until I made my first Australian team, so you got plenty of time. The most important thing is that you just enjoy your basketball.
By rolling out the start line, we want to build a framework where anyone that wants to become involved in parasport can find and navigate their way through to the opportunity that's local, that suits their needs.
Parasport's the best. You meet people that are just like you.
Times can be really tough. You're going to have some really frustrating days. It's okay to ask for help, but I promise you things do get better, and Paralympic sport can play a huge role in that.
Have a go. When we move out of our comfort zone, we surprise ourselves.
Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that direction my life has taken, and I'm extremely thankful for it.
Just try it. You'll just grow to love it, and you could probably play for your country.
Hey everyone, I'm Tommy Neil Thorne. Tune in this weekend as the rollers take on the world.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Ranger Wolf Track V6, featuring bold styling, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres, all from just $73,000 drive away. Ranger Wolf Track at participating Ford dealers while stocks last.
Welcome to this very special occasion, a celebration of the 2000 Australian Paralympic team.
It's so great just for everyone to come together and reminisce, and it's like a massive reunion.
To be here with everyone's just so special. It makes me almost cry with joy.
So wonderful to be back here after 25 years. So many people that got to share such unforgettable memories because it was the first time we had the Paralympic Games in Australia.
We all have a bond that can't be broken because we all experience something that is a part of our lives.
All of what we're here for, we have to develop the athletes, the kids with disabilities, to believe that they can achieve.
Sydney 2000 showed that the Paralympic Games can be as good as a host city chooses to make them. It filled stadiums, it filled arenas. It set the benchmark for the athlete experience.
Sydney 2000 changed everything. Let's just take the Paralympic movement to a place where it had never been before.
People with disabilities can, and I think Sydney said to us, we can.
Australia changed the face of Paralympic sport forever, and I couldn't be prouder.
My favourite memory from the Sydney 2000 Paralympic Games was actually carrying the torch into the stadium for the opening ceremony of the Games. Before I was about to carry the torch, there was going to be 2.2 billion television viewers.
The advice to the athletes is seize all the opportunity you have. The athletes that assembled here today are an example of the hard work and the legacy that can be left by a group that's come well before you. The best way that you can honour, respect and thank the past is to make sure you take care of the future by working hard and embracing every opportunity that you have at the moment.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Get what you really want with the value-packed Ford Ranger Black Edition 4x4 with bedliner, 12-inch touchscreen, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres. All from just $53,000 drive away. Get the Ranger Black Edition at participating Ford dealers.
Wheelchair basketball emerged shortly after World War II after it was developed by injured servicemen. It became a foundation Paralympic sport at the 1960 Games and is now one of the world's most recognisable wheelchair sports. Athletes who play wheelchair basketball have a physical impairment. All players use a wheelchair to compete, although some don't use a wheelchair in everyday life. The court dimensions and basket height for wheelchair basketball are the same as the able-bodied version of the sport, as is the playing time and number of players on court. Wheelchair basketball classifications range between 1 and 4.5 points. Players with a classification of 1.0 have the highest level of impairment, while players in the 4.5 point class have the highest level of physical function to be eligible for the sport. The wheelchairs used during a game are specially designed to support players and help them move around the court. During a match, the classifications of the 5 players on the court are added together and must reach a total of no more than 14 points. The object of the game is to score the most points in the opposing team's basket. The team with the most points by the time the clock expires wins. Wheelchair basketball is a contact sport. The sport is so fast that it can be difficult for athletes to stop in time, meaning contact is inevitable and can result in some spectacular collisions. While contact is permitted and even encouraged, head-on collisions are strictly forbidden and can result in fouls or even ejection from the game. For more information on wheelchair basketball, visit paralympic.org.au.
Welcome back to the AIS Centre of Excellence in Canberra, Australia. Get some highlights now from the first half of this clash between Italy in the blue uniforms and Japan in the white. Italy holding a slender 2-point advantage after a fantastic comeback in that second quarter. Been a mixture of things, Campbell. Probably Giaretti, his inclusion in the game gave the Italian team some scoring punch, but they've really been pretty good all round.
Yeah, I think that's the strength that the Italians are really showing at the moment is their ability to find a scoring opportunity wherever they need to. It's a very, very lucky thing. Obviously, the Japanese are doing a similar thing, but not quite to the same effectiveness. The Italians just finding inside shots, outside shots, whoever they can find. We know that they even have their low point players are quite ball handlers and look for outside shots as well. So the Japanese really have a task ahead of them to kind of contest all of those shots and find a way to slow down the Italian offense.
As we look at the raw numbers there, Italy with 16 2-point makes compared to Japan's 8. Japan making up most of that deficit by having converted 4 3-point attempts and 5 points from the free throw line. Italy yet to contribute from that spot on the floor. As mentioned, it's Japan in the white. This is day 2 of 5 days of incredible elite men's wheelchair basketball coming to you from Canberra. All the games on this YouTube channel, Basketball Australia. Each of the teams, the 4 teams, Australia and Spain, the other 2, play each other twice, then some semi-finals on Monday and playoffs on Tuesday. Japan comes up empty on their first trip. And Carasino gets things going for Italy. Finds Papi on the other side of the floor. Carasino's cut off. Tries to find Papi flashing middle. Can't do so. This goes ahead. Kawahara. And it's Mariuma. But a foul's been discovered. First sighting of Takamatsu, Yoshinobu Takamatsu in 4. He's been pretty solid the 2 games yesterday. Kozai, who started the game, can't get that 3 to go. Japan reels in the offensive rebound. Kozai looks again. There's a sidearm pass to Akashi. Akashi uses the Takamatsu screen, can't get it to go. Boganelli Joseph skates in to get the rebound. Papi wheels and deals using the De Silva Pellizzari screen. Ball back to Boganelli Joseph in a spot he really likes. Goes in and out. Kashi, cut off. Finds Mariuma. Kashi again. Wheels back around. Gets it back. Long 2. Off. Boganelli Joseph, the rebound. Carasino, cut off. Blocking foul on this occasion.
I think he was hoping that the Italian was coming in with a little bit of speed and a little bit of aggression, but he didn't stop his chair in time, and especially facing up is kind of the cardinal sin in wheelchair basketball in defense.
Papi feels some contact, does a bit of a lean and a hoik. The official explaining to him that she had called the foul on the ground. The ball go to the side. It was pretty quick thinking, but not quick enough.
That's the Italian style. They like to throw those shots up and try and get to the line, but just not lucky on that point.
And a travelling violation there. Carasino looks a little confused. Campbell.
I think I'm a little bit confused as well. That's not a common thing to see at this level. To see players just forget a little bit and potentially look to steady themselves. The travel rule is 2 touches of your wheels, and that does include any little steady that you go to make. So potentially it was just a little pullback.
Kozai for 3. Boom. It's back where he started the game. Boganelli Joseph brings it up for Italy, who now find themselves behind by 1. Carasino drives middle. Boganelli Joseph lines up from one of his favourite spots. This time it goes. Kashi, Kozai. Ball back to the far winger. Kashi drives middle, finds some contact. Pinpoint pass there. And Takamatsu. Reminder, we're still early, or relatively early in the morning, about 20 minutes past 11 Australian time on the East Coast. And all four teams will play games again this afternoon. For the Italians, they're probably at the greatest disadvantage. In about 4 hours' time, they'll be back on the floor against Spain. Kashi, I'm sure they wouldn't have it any other way. They've got a relatively large squad, an opportunity to test or stress test their lineups, system. Boganelli Joseph's really got long arms, fantastic wingspan, from a low position in the chair. Akashi, the defensive rebound, looks to push. Kozai gets a handle on it. Mariuma, yes, goes the scoop layup. Boganelli Joseph gets out in front of the pack, makes the layup. Beautiful finger roll. The Japanese were thinking about pressing there. You could see a bit of an impromptu press, and then they realised that Boganelli Joseph had scuttled out the back. Kozai, blur screen from Akashi. Mariuma, back to Kozai, drives middle, has a bit of an advantage. Akashi drives base, he can't find a shot. Kozai looks to dump inside. He's hit Takamatsu on the back of the head. He wasn't facing, but Happy assessed with the foul. His body language would indicate he's not entirely impressed by that assessment.
That was actually a really smart play from the Japanese to dump that ball inside. There's a chance that foul didn't get drawn if the pass didn't go, but just leaning forward out of his chair a little bit and kind of forcing the contact that he was already feeling behind him to really be accentuated. It's the smart play to draw that foul.
Kozai goes the underground shovel pass there. Knocked away. Just 8 seconds for the Japanese to manufacture something on this attempt. Kozai, roll back. It's well within his wheelhouse. He's come up with a rebound, Bienvenuto. Papi needs to get the ball to the front court, does so. Da Silva Pellizzari. It's a calming hand out, says let's run something. Directing traffic. Meanwhile, the shot clock ticking along in the background. In fact, it ticked along so much that he spent 24 seconds trying to organise things and got nothing done. Kozai now on the right wing. Da Silva Pellizzari looks after him defensively. Maybe wasn't close enough, and no hand up. Kozai goes boom.
That's really what the Japanese have started to rely on is that outside shot. Kozai is looking extremely comfortable with those threes today. That's very much what you'd expect from him, knowing his career, but hasn't really looked for those in other games as much. Really finding it here against Italy.
To a game high 16 points for Kozai. As Mariuma pushes down the floor, finds that man. Mariuma gets it back, forces a shot. Thought he might have found some contact, I think. Nothing doing. Back to Kozai. Boganelli Joseph pursues him. Benvenuto comes to help. Ball kicks ahead. Da Silva Pellizzari. Kozai leaves him to his own devices. You'll be thinking he's not going to shoot from there. He did, but it was short. Kozai going the other way. Gets it back from Takamatsu. His shot's off. Play just skating up and down the floor at the moment. Happy with it for Italy. Da Silva Pellizzari runs a bit of a blur screen. Ball gets to Carasino, who thinks about a shot back to Papi. Papi shots off. Kozai the rebound. Sees a leak out. And that was a strategic foul from Carasino.
I think it was also it was a strategic foul to slow down the play, but also knowing that his teammate, another defender, was coming up along the side, and if he'd made that contact first, that probably was looking at it unsportsmanlike. So he's very lucky that the foot plate came in first. And it's a rough foul, but it's a fair one, and just protecting his teammate from getting a pretty bad foul.
The Italians make a few substitutions there. It's been hectic for the last few minutes with not a lot of scoring productivity. Kozai has it. Boganelli Joseph pursues him. Carasino comes to help. Ball finds its way to Mariuma. His shot short. He pursues the rebound. Can't get it. And neither can Spuels. Thought he had a hand. I might have popped a finger there. Ruefully stretching that out. Kashi gives it up, gets it back. Baseline, skip pass. Ball gets back to Kozai, weaving, head and shoulders. Draws some contact.
Again, it's that play that we've already seen a little bit from Kozai, that hip movement, holding the ball above his head and just using his hips to kind of swerve around the player and really clip and pull in that hold.
Yeah, it certainly does feel quite deceptive. Don't quite know which way he's going to go. Marotta certainly didn't, and conceded that foul. Put his hand up in the air to indicate that was his. Kozai makes them both. And it's snuck out to a 6-point lead. Carasino. Fiona gives him a lovely screen. Carasino gets baseline and finishes.
I think that's really important for Italy to have a little play like that where they play relatively tame and normal for their standards, and just get a simple shot, kind of bring those that scoring deficit a little bit lower before they can run into some more chaos.
Kozai can't get that one to go for Takamatsu pass. Carasino probes, same sort of spot on the baseline, skips a pass, comes back to Boganelli Joseph. He dumps inside. Spuez gets that to go. Kozai the other way, sees a post up, gets it back. Mariuma, back to Kozai, 3, that's their go-to at the moment, and it's another boom. Kozai.
It's a remarkably flat shot, to be honest, from Kozai, but just falling straight in. There's almost nothing that you can do to stop him at this point.
It's literally a catch and shoot. Spuez, Boganelli Joseph. Shots off on the weak side. Japanese out and rolling. 2-on-1, almost. Offensive foul. Wheel side on Campbell, right at contact at the right point.
Yeah, it was fantastic defense and potentially just that slight bit too much speed coming in, and no real effort to stop. He changed direction a little bit to try and slow himself down. I think there was no real intent to stop other than using the chair in front of him to stop.
The referee just confirming with the score table that the score did not count. Boganelli Joseph with it for Italy now. Just almost a careless pass. It's unusual for him. Gets it back just a fraction outside his range. Spuez drives baseline. Back to Boganelli Joseph, running a two-man game. Screening being provided by Marotta. That's good. Kozai found a fantastic cut from Takamatsu. He's got the showing us the archery meme there. He was shooting an arrow to Takamatsu. That might be one of his go-to celebrations.
It's a little bit more of what you want to see coming out of Japan. They are, as I've said, they like to stay dedicated and disciplined, but it's always good to see a little bit of flair coming out, a little bit of fun. They like to have fun, especially when they play the Australians. They know them quite well, so they're a little bit more friendly and jovial.
Hope I'm not misconstruing Kozai's reaction there. And he wasn't just stretching, but it did look very much like he was firing an arrow. I think that was what he intended. Bogdanova Joseph now, expertly saw the contact coming and leaned into a very ungainly looking shot. Mikashi knew he was caught in no man's land. Put his hand up. First one's good from Bogdanova Joseph. And the second. Three-point advantage from Japan. Almost every game we've had, bar the previous one today, been nip and tuck affairs. Kozai weaves in and out of a couple of defenders. Back to Akashi. Back to the weak side. That's off the side of the backboard. You don't see very often. Takamatsu lost his compass there. D'Agostino. Game clock running down. I think he's aware of that. Bench giving him a bit of a hand. Lets it fly. Right on the buzzer. Very efficient. And with that, it sees Japan 50 leading Italy 47, all to play for, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter shortly.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
Hey everyone, I'm Tommy Neil Thorne. Tune in this weekend as the rollers take on the world.
Welcome back to the AIS Centre of Excellence in Canberra, Australia, for the final quarter of this clash at the Rollers Against the World tournament, a 5-day extravaganza. It's Italy and Japan competing here. Both these teams having played 2 games yesterday. Spain and Australia, the other teams at this event. Japan, it's been a back and forth contest. Japan finds himself in front by 3. Kozai, the primary scorer for them, and in fact the leading scorer for the game, Hiroki Kozai, with 21 points. Italy with the first possession. Giaretti dumps inside fantastically well. Spuez gets Italy scoring underway, drags the margin back to 1. Takashi answers from the free throw line. Sayed. Ball across to Giaretti, uses the screen, tries to go back door, can't make the cut. Sayed likes the look of that shot. Sits on the rim for a second, but won't go. Murakami, cross-court pass to Akashi. Inside to Akita. Couple of fakes. Just a question of whether he's in the act of shooting when he was fouled. Referee indicates that the ball will be from the baseline. Well, the referee certainly pointed to the baseline. Now a little bit of explanatory work going on with the score table. And the Italian coach. It appears that
I think there's a little argument that that the shot was in action and got pulled out, or rather he pulled away from the shot because of the contact. So I think the argument would almost be that the shot was going up until the contact came in.
Certainly Akita got the result in 2 free throws. Italy chasing their first win at this event. This was moving screens called almost casually by the official. Nobody's really arguing, which is unusual.
I suspect that might have been one of the conversations that came out of the quarter break for Italy, knowing that they haven't had quite the calls that they've been expecting, and they can get a little bit fiery about that. Essentially, that was the conversation, just saying it's okay, we're still within it. It's only 4 points, really. The Italians know that they have this within their grasp.
Akashi hasn't been a prolific shooter, but coming up with a couple in this quarter already. Carasino uses the Giaretti screen. Launches from the free throw line. That's good. Murakami. Nice baseline. Cut off. All deflected. Back to Japan. Akita. Runs a little screen and roll for Akashi. His shot's off. Where's the rebound? Giaretti. What's he got for us here? Straightforward left, well, what would have been a left-hand layup. He chose to go to the inside hand, the right hand. And the Japanese head coach doesn't like the look of that, Mr. Koyoya. He's called a timeout.
I think that layup, he was almost hoping that a little bit of contact would come in and be able to draw that foul. He knew that the defender was right on him, and there was that little wiggle you could see as he was coming into that layup. But unfortunately, having to use a normal shot.
It's very unusual for the magician to use a normal shot, but he's clearly an elite wheelchair basketballer, and he decided on that occasion that, yeah. Although clever to use the inside hand, which protected from the pursuing defender. Some coaches have discouraged that actively for many, many years. Right-hand layup on the left-hand side, but it certainly has a functionality that Giaretti was able to demonstrate there.
It's one of the things you'll find a lot in wheelchair basketball is there are a variety of ways to shoot. You don't have the ability to shoot through your legs and use that to form power, so players will find different ways to get their power, whether that is obviously the taller players can often shoot normal able-bodied shooting form, especially within the keyway. But as you get further out, you'll see more what look like impractical styles of shooting, but if it works, it works.
Yeah. I like it. Akita with the ball now for Japan. They hold a narrow 2-point lead. Murakami. That one's off. Really a chance to tie things up. Or Giretti maybe even uses the screens from Buez. Kicks across to Papi. Shot was straight. Just a little long. A wayward pass. Wheeled in by Murakami. Mariuma. Goes to Murakami. Drives baseline. Cut off by Giretti. Shot clock started to become an issue. Lovely touch pass. To Akita. From Akashi. He banks it home. Giretti drives baseline. Cut off again. Finds Papi. Kicks back to Giretti. That just wasn't high enough, that pass. Akita managed to get a fingertip on it, which sent it caroming off Giretti's head out of bounds.
It was a little bit of a strange offense for Italy. Looking to try and reverse the ball, make the defense move, but really their reversals weren't forcing any movement. They weren't really contesting that outside shot, and I think Japan at this point are happy not to jump that outside shot until Italy really shows they are going to hit it more than they're not.
Giretti with a beautiful interior pass, very conventional by his standards, but absolutely had the desired effect. Wells had rolled brilliantly to the space after setting a screen. The pass was in the perfect spot for him to be able to catch and finish and draw the contact. Free throws off, but he knew that and scuttled after it. Tracked it down. Papi now with the ball. Yeah, the shot clock just not resetting to 14 there. Officials just getting things sorted. Calls in Giretti. The Japanese aware of the danger he can pose. Papi, back to Giretti. Again, a really low pass. Shot clock expires before Marotta could even attempt that shot. Offense just getting jammed up a bit there, Campbell, with the 3-side, 2-side for Italy.
Yeah, the Japanese defense being really strong to prioritize those shooters, knowing that Italy's probably gone to the idea that they just need to get a comfortable little score, and they know who they want to get that through, and just not able to do it.
Pedron found himself out in the open there, but being the smallest stature player in the chair on the floor, the two defenders, by the time they got back, there was really no shooting angle for him at all, and the ball was tied up. Jump ball, alternating arrow would give the ball to Japan. Murakami. We tick down towards the halfway point last quarter. Game 6 of 16 games over 5 days. Got short again from Japan. Papi the rebound. Giretti runs across the top. Gets it back from Papi. Now it's Boganelli Joseph. He pleads that he was fouled. Murakami and Akashi with a change of passing. shot in and out there for Kawahara. Giretti's three's off. Just a series of misses at the moment. Murakami can't convert that long two, I think. Giretti goes baseline, skips a pass. Papi, he nails it. Ties us up at 57.
Finally, the Italians able to find something to go, and also the Japanese really not finding anything on their offense as well. It's they've had all the opportunity to kind of push out that lead, and the Italians just able to control it.
There we go. Finally, something goes for Japan. Boganelli Joseph. Papi. Giretti. Really well covered by Akita. And Mariuma coming to help. Boganelli Joseph can't reel that pass in. Mariuma pushes the ball ahead. Cleverly makes the layup.
I really like that tap forward, knowing that he absolutely had the speed on the other players, just tapping the ball in front of him pretty wildly, and just driving straight onto it for that layup, knowing that as the less that you have the ball in your hands, the less that you can mess up.
Yeah, that first push with the wheel was electric acceleration. And not surprisingly, Italy want to have a chat about things. Having exerted all that energy to draw level, they're down by 4. Just a tick under 3 minutes remaining. Japanese huddles always, well, they certainly have this weekend, look very calm. Coach Koyoya happy to move into the middle of the circle to impart a few words. Then it's left to the players pretty much. Fujimoto, we haven't seen any more of him today, but no surprise he's being used sparingly.
It's the value of having a player like that. The height and the threat that he offers is something that the opposition have to respond to every single time, and then you immediately take him off and force the opposition to restructure again and just really put them in an uncomfortable position. With the Japanese bench, they have the ability to rotate through so effectively.
Italy in the same sort of alignment. Papi one side, Giretti the other. Series of screeners. Giretti goes for the bank shot. It's off. And off and running. Papi back as the primary defender. Swipes at the ball. Murakami, across. Mariuma, shot clock running down. Murakami's aware. Just managed to get a bump of the chair. The whistle was a fraction late, but it was probably there. Italy may not be disturbed by that. Gives them a third team foul. Lets them be closer to the bonus should they need to foul to stop the clock. They're content to run some clock here. Keita's shot is off. Italy doing not a great job of getting hold of that rebound. They eventually do. Giretti. Hedron slides by. Boganelli Joseph. Papi. Shot clock running down. Boganelli Joseph. That's one of his shots. It's good. He has a habit of appearing at the free throw line after several reversals. Makes the cut at exactly the right time. Murakami. No need to panic yet for Italy. Just trailing by 2. Minute remaining. Murakami, a lot of dribbling going on. Somebody's going to get left holding this. It's Murakami.
Murakami might have been looking for a foul inside there when he was putting that shot up. I think he thought that there'd been a bit of contact as he lifted up onto that one wheel, but unfortunately not able to get there.
No time for a quick pit stop. Might be a... Oh no, here's the mechanic. Giretti's identified an issue with his wheel. Mechanic just gives him the wheel. Happy for Giretti just to put it on himself.
The players should come prepared. That wheel should be pumped and ready to go. We'll just take the axle out of the other one and go straight back in. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into getting chairs ready and things like that. So you'd be surprised if at this level they're not ready for that.
Poor old mechanic's probably thinking there's another one I've got to fix, but that is his role. Papi on the right wing. Skips to Giretti. Familiar offensive structure. Boganelli Joseph, the screen. And unfortunately, maybe Pedron in his effort to set a flare screen on the other side as his wheels just encroached into the rectangular area, the key.
He was looking to set a pinch on the block and potentially just a little bit too far actually onto the block. And just sitting inside pretty comfortably, pretty happy to sit there, but the referee sitting right behind him.
Mariuma can't get that to go. Italian's going to have to be quick here. Time running down. Puppy's aware, I think. Ball skips to Boganelli Joseph. He's going to get a chance to launch. Goes Glass. Can't get it to go. Murakami the rebound. The leak out. No layup. And that's going to do it. You were hoping for the three-quarter court shot, Campbell. It might have been a little beyond three-quarter court, but nonetheless, another fantastically willing contest. It's Japan 61. Italy still left without a win, but certainly plenty of development progress they've made, and it's a fantastic opportunity. The very nature of this tournament, having 4 teams that have already qualified for the World Championships all in the one place, being able to play them multiple times as we see their players exchanging pleasantries with the officials and the other team.
And that was a surprising little showing from Italy. Not that that we'd expect one player to become the kind of man of the hour, but really on the side of Japan, Kozai becoming that threat that Italy really couldn't respond to. Italy having a few players in the double digits with their points, but really just not able to find that one consistent option. They almost took a page out of the Spanish book that we've seen today and yesterday, with that kind of undulating up and down ability to score, and then going a little bit cold, and then ability to score, and they just couldn't really find their rhythm. And I think that's the credit to the Japanese defensive side, is that they really like to control pace. They don't like to let the other team run the game. The Japanese are so headstrong in the way that they want to play, and they will stick to it every time.
As we see the raw numbers and the stats, I think it's a great way to display them. The stylistic difference. Italy converting 27 two-point attempts to Japan, just 14. But Japan more than making up that deficit with 7 made three-point attempts and 12 points from the free throw line. It's really quite stark. The rebounding fairly even. Italy probably throwing the ball away a little more. 13 turnovers to 6.
Yeah, I think that's what you'd have to be looking at if you're the Italian side. You look at that stat sheet, you're pretty happy with everything. They shot at 50% as opposed to the Japanese 36%, which I'm sure the Japanese aren't too happy with. But as you move down the statistics, again, Italy with those turnovers, really just not protecting the ball quite as much as they need to, knowing that Japan really likes to have that cherry picker, as we were talking about, and really getting set in their kind of transition offense, almost one defender not playing defense to move.
We see a quick look at a few of the highlights. Boganoli Joseph there, who was in double figures scoring for Italy. That's a pleasing result for him from that lower point position. Here he is getting away on transition, that long arm.
I think he really is a little bit of the secret power that the Italians have, and that they should be relying on a little bit more. He has the ability, especially when he's playing that point, to really draw out the defense to other options, and kind of they end up leaving him alone. He looks like a low point player. He looks not like a shooting threat, but as you said, he gets to that free throw line and he's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, Carasino there and Giaretti. We didn't see any magician or extreme magician work today, but he was certainly passable. Probably the challenge for the Italians now is that in about 3.5 hours' time they'll be back on court against Spain, which is the nature of this tournament. And coverage will be provided of that game as well on this same channel. But until then, on behalf of me and Campbell Fraser, we wish you goodbye from the AIS Arena.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.